want to go ahead with police and fire, please do.
Copy that. I will start the meeting at 6:10.
Good.
And do we have the fire chief available?
Yep, I'm here.
Okay, Chief. You have a couple things. So, Chief Saloom, would you like to start?
Yes, this is Chief Saloom. I can go first, Councilman.
Yeah, the only thing that I had in my folder was an MOU. Would you like to explain that, please?
Yes, so the MOU you're looking at is basically memorializing a current practice we've been doing with the county for the last several months, and actually longer than that. But more recently, they renamed their Ready Notify system to Code Red. What Code Red is, it's we manage it through Chagrin Valley Dispatch. It's a mass notification system promoted by the county's Office of Emergency Management, and it's utilized by participating municipalities to issue emergency notifications to the public. If we got to get some important information out to them, both from the police side and the fire side, or something as a city as a whole, to whoever signs up for it. The police department and the city have sent out information on our social media platforms within the last month. And Jen Berger also put this information in the newsletter, notifying the residents and the public in general that we're a part of this program, and we encourage everybody to sign up for it, whether you're a resident or you just want information on Seven Hills, but most importantly, if you're a resident, so you can receive important notifications from either the police department, fire department, or the city as a whole. There's no cost to doing this, and it's also a part of our overall emergency operations plan. Both the fire chief and myself have had discussions about this. We're all for it. Like I said, we've been using it, and all the county asks is that we memorialize this in an MOU. It's basically a formality. We're already doing it. It's no cost, and when you sign up for it, each of the residents, the council people, whoever it is, can choose how they want notifications sent to them. We put the link on the police department's Facebook page. It's also on the city's Twitter. It was in the newsletter. You just go, sign up for it. You can get text messages, phone calls to your cell phone, your home phone, your work phone, and emails. So there's different ways you can get notifications. Again, it's a part of our overall emergency operations plan. We've been doing it, and we just need council to memorialize what we've already been doing.
Awesome, Chief. I appreciate it. I don't have Norm tonight. Councilman Cooley, can I get a second? I want to make a motion to approve that MOU.
I'm Norm's here.
Oh, Norm's on?
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay, great. It sounds like it's right up your alley, Norm, with the emergency plans that you're looking for. So with that being said, I'd like to make a motion to approve the MOU. Can I get a second?
I second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Awesome. Is that all you had tonight, Chief Saloom?
Yes, Councilman, that's all I have. I'll stick around for the remainder of the committee meeting, but I don't have anything else.
Okay, thank you very much. Chief Mecklenburg, you also have an MOU in the file. Would you like to explain that?
I'm not sure what MOU you're talking about, to be honest. I didn't think my file had anything.
Okay. Then we will pass on that. It must have been an older one then.
Yeah,
I was kind of confused by it myself.
Okay, yeah, there should be nothing this month, but it's been pretty much locked down over here for a month, so.
Understood. I also had something on fire truck, but that was just the engine. But I know that was just to look over. So, do you have it? You have anything else?
No, I just want to say thank you to Chief Saloom. I started looking into Code Red last month, and then the flooding hit, so I was looking a little bit harder. Just so everybody knows, we're looking at we're saving probably over $12,000 a year by going through the county for this. So it's pretty significant.
Okay, great. It's I know Councilman Martin has been looking forward to some emergency action stuff, so that's great. I appreciate you guys And I won't take up any more of anyone's time unless someone has any questions about this. Anyone have a question? If you
No
don't,
questions.
then I am. Excuse me?
No questions from here.
Okay.
No questions.
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn, 6:15.
Second the motion.
All right, all in favor? Aye.
Aye. Aye.
Okay, we're adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Let's move
Thank
on
you,
to Public
Councilman.
Works.
Okay, open the meeting here at 6:16 of Public Works. Looks like we've got two things here. Request for agenda approval on, it looks like probably resurfacing of Sprague Road. Trying to read this here. On the consent agenda here. Purchase required on that is 3 of 25. Went to the finance department on the 31st. You have to bear with me here. I'm trying to look at this on my phone here. There wasn't anything when I was up at City Hall yesterday, so. From Daniel. Dan Collins, any amount of $5,000. Can we get approval to pay that bill?
Yeah, Councilman, this is Collins. If I may, just maybe explain a little bit more.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Yeah, hi. Thank you. This is a proposal to the city to allow the engineering department, myself specifically, to get involved with the city of Broadview Heights, who's going to be administering the project and taking it through design, administering, and through construction. Okay, there's going to be times that we're going to be getting involved, which I've already have been involved, to serve our city residents on our side of Sprague Road. Okay, so this is just allows me to spend my time on the project that's outside of my normal engineering duties with the department. And under the scope of services, there's a list of 8 items that we'll be involved with. And just to let you know, this project is moving along quite well. I actually have a pre-construction meeting scheduled for next week with Broadview Heights and with the contractor. The contract has already been awarded to an asphalt contractor, and they're looking at getting this project started in May, mid to end of May of this year. So it's going to be moving along pretty good. So if there's any other questions, I'll be more than happy to answer. Thank you.
So this is basically to pay for. I'm sorry.
I don't know
So
who that was.
Oh, okay. I thought somebody was asking a question. This is actually just.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Mr. Chairman, if I may. I
you may.
believe
Go
this
ahead.
is a project that's split 3 ways between the county and the two. It's been split between 3 ways between the county and the 2 municipalities. If I remember correctly, I don't have the numbers in front of me. I think the total municipal contribution is 20% of the overall cost. And I believe the county picks up 80, each of the municipalities picks up 10%. Am I remembering that right, Dan?
Yes, Councilman
That's exactly
and
right.
Chairman. Yes.
Yes.
In this order, I just want to cut to this is the mayor. Ordinance 24/2020 refers to the engineering fees related to the Sprague Road project. To the extent our engineer needs to participate and represent the city of Seven Hills' interest, this contract calls for an amount not to exceed $5,000. So it's basically Dan's time on this project. And as Councilman Delacola stated, this project has already been approved, and it's a partnership with the county, and our exposure on the resurfacing is 10% of the cost. which has already been provided for. So we're only talking about the engineering fee at this point.
Yeah, basically the litigation on that stuff for the engineering. Okay. Okay.
And if
Does
I
anybody
may
have
add,
any?
I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
Mr. Chairman, this is Collins again. If I may, Broadview Heights in their co-op agreements is going to be paying for half of this $5,000. So they'll be paying up to $2,500 on this.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So that's like a bonus.
So like what area of Sprague Road is this?
This begins at Broadview Road and it goes all the way the entire length of Sprague Road in the city of Seven Hills up to the corporate limit line.
The corporate. Okay. All right. Okay.
Broadview Heights is also going to be doing a further section on Sprague Road, but we have nothing to do with that. That's just going to be between them and the county. They have an agreement with the county that they want to get their half of the road done as you go into Independence.
Okay. Gotcha. That would be further east down Sprague Road.
Correct.
Okay. Okay. Anything else I'm missing on this here? Like I said, you have to bear with me a little bit. I'm kind of trying to read this from a smaller print here. So.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
this is Rich Pignatello. Broadview Heights passed their version of this cooperate. I mean, I wrote the version, so it's identical, but they passed theirs last night.
Okay. Okay. I don't have any further questions about this. I mean, that, as far as that goes, does anybody on the committee have any questions?
John, this is Tom. I've got it up on my computer and I can read it so you don't have to try to squint at it on your phone if you have any questions. I don't have any other questions though. I'm cool with it.
Okay. No, I don't have any other questions with this as far as I'm concerned. Anybody else? Administration or anything? Okay,
Councilman, do you want to make a motion?
Yes. Yes, Madam President. I make a motion to pass the engineering fee on Sprague Road.
Second,
Okay.
this is Tom.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay. Okay. That was the only thing that I was able to see here in Public Works as of this time. Is there anything else, Tom, you see up there?
Yeah, there's something about pavement marking. I'm a little confused on it. I think it's just for the engineering for the pavement marking for $6,300 and change, $6,318.20. But as you page down on the decision memo, there is also something there. Hold on a minute, I'm getting there. Coming up to it, for $52,000 and change, which I'm guessing is the total cost of putting the markers on, the pavement markers on. So I don't know whether we're approving. I'm not sure whether we're approving the $52,651.63 or whether we're approving the $6,318.20, which I think is the engineering. So, Dan, if you can clue me in or clue us in, I would appreciate it.
Yes, thank you, Councilman Snitsky. Mr. Chairman, if I may, this engineering fee of $6,318.20 is based off of the estimated cost for the pavement markings applications of $52,651. Okay, this allows, so you're going to be approving the $6,318 tonight. That allows engineering to prepare the specifications and publicly bid the project out to seek contractors' pricing. Okay, so once we do get those bids in, then of course we'll be coming at you for our recommendation of our lowest and best bid. This is just to kick off all the engineering and design right now for the pavement markings, 2004.
This is, okay, I'm sorry. This is just to get things rolling for right now, correct?
Correct. This is to prepare the bid books and specifications for bidding purposes, yes.
Okay, $6,318.20. Okay, I see. I just got it pulled up here right now. Okay.
Yeah. And also, this involves construction administration, too. I apologize. This also involves construction administration. Once the project is awarded by council, we're in charge of the pre-construction meeting. We're in charge of reviewing contractor draw requests and then reviewing all the work that's been performed to make sure it complies with the specifications.
Okay. Is there a motion to approve this?
I'll second the motion.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Okay. At this time, I don't see anything else in Public Works that I can see right here on the docket. Tom, is there anything else that you can find on there?
No, that's all I found, John, were the two items we discussed.
Okay, yeah, I just caught that second one, the $6,318 as I was scrolling down through there further. I apologize. If there's nothing else on the docket at this time, the last held meeting was on March 10th, 2020. The next committee meeting will be May 12th of 2020, and we will adjourn a meeting at 6:27. Can I get a second?
Second. Okay.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you, Councilman.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to community services, please.
Okay, open the meeting at community service at 6:28. I have nothing in the file. I know Tony Terry has a couple things to bring up. Tony, are you ready?
I am.
Okay.
All right. Good evening, everybody. So I wanted to go over home days. Obviously, we fully understand the situation that we're in with the governor's demand, but in the meanwhile, the surrounding cities have still all considered that they're moving forward with their home days. I wanted to talk about what some of the numbers would look like based on the environment that we're in now. So the estimated cost of home days would be somewhere around $42,000. Of course, we offset that with sponsorship funding, whether it's sponsorships, advertisement sales, fundraising, all the different things in the past we've been able to have it paid for the past couple of years. This particular year, however, may hold a different scenario. As all of you are aware, in the next week we were supposed to be holding our annual Taste of Seven Hills, which brings us a revenue of about $8,000 profit, which goes towards home days. So we will obviously not be receiving those funds for the 2020 home days, as well as Legacy Health Services had pledged $5,000 towards home days for the fireworks. And unfortunately, at this point, they are receiving some financial issues with COVID-19, and they are not able to hold up their end of that partnership. I did speak to Waste Management. They still are fully budgeted for their $4,000 donation. And I also spoke to other mayors in other cities and their staff, and to the fireworks company. Again, nobody at this point has made any adjustments or changes to how they're going to be handling it. I just wanted to share that with you, that we know that if the situation remains the same and the economic recovery doesn't happen as quickly as we would like, there is a possibility that the number of things that we receive monetarily will not be found for this year's event. So, in the absolute worst case, home days would cost the city approximately $40,000, $42,000. Well, 38, because we know that the other company, two companies, or the company and the and the event are not happening. With that being said, we still fully anticipate being able to sell the advertisements and the sponsorships, and we certainly will work forward to that. But we would say at this point, it's looking like best case would be that we would probably be at about the city being paying about $12,000 for home days. So that's kind of just an idea to be transparent with what's going on with the numbers and how that's going. With all of that said, it's obviously very likely that the governor is not going to allow mass gatherings of the magnitude in which we carry for home days. So I would not be surprised if we are forced in that position. Any questions?
Councilman Elliott here, Tony.
Go ahead, Councilman.
Mr. Chairman, if I may.
I think with the state that we're in right now, people being cooped up in their homes, I think it's imperative. If we are allowed to move forward, I think we need to move forward at that cost. People are going to be looking for stuff to do. But I guess it's a wait and see kind of thing, but count it out, because I have a feeling this economy is going to be coming back sooner than later, and I think things are going to start lightening up here a little bit, but I'm all for it.
And I know I thought I heard Councilman Delaquila, but Councilman, if I can just say one thing. The city in 2016 had decided to go a year without home days. That negatively impacted our home days ever since that point. That was the reason we lost things such as the ride company that we had. We lost due to us canceling for monetary reasons. We lost a lot of acts, a lot of different businesses who were involved over us canceling. So I just want to share that with everybody. That is an actual experience that we have been through with this once before.
I agree with you. I don't think it should be canceled. If we're forced to cancel, that's a whole different ballgame. But I think we need to give the residents something to look forward to.
And I think everybody understands also that if there's money to be had, I'm going to get it. I have a proven track record of that. If there's money to be had to pay for this, I'm going to get it.
Tony?
Yes.
This is Councilman Kuya. What would be about the dates of the home days?
The dates off the top of my head would be the 24th, 25th, and 26th of July.
Okay, yeah, that doesn't have to be, yeah, okay.
Correct. Now, where we get into is, obviously I've been working on this for the past couple of months, but now we're getting to the point where we start making monetary commitments. For example, the fireworks. I mentioned I spoke with Roberto Sorgai today, one of the people who's put in a bid, and I talked to him about if we were to select your company and the event did not happen because the government shut us down, what would the ramifications be to the city based on that? And he explained to me that, well, for him it would be roughly 20% based on the things that they would have to secure up front. So I think when we start talking about the things we have to get, the tents from Aladdin Rents or fireworks or some of the other things we purchase, there are some things that will have to be purchased or agreed to that may happen prior to any decision being made by the government at the state level.
Chairman, I have a question, please.
Go on, Councilman Kelly. Go on, Madam President.
Mr. Chairman?
Thank you. I just have a question for Director Terry. It seems that we're adding a third day to home days. Do you think
Correct.
that's prudent, given the situation here? If we do go forward, likely home days will be mostly out of the city's pocket. How would we offset the cost of a third day for home days?
There's no real major cost added to the day. Those get covered by the cost of the selling of the different things that are happening, the booths and that. The money is put into things like the fireworks, the entertainment. So the monies are spent no matter what. No matter if you had it, realistically, if you had it 3 days, 15 days, you're already renting the tents. Does that make sense?
Okay.
Does that make sense, Councilwoman?
Oh, no, I hear you.
Sorry, I didn't hear you.
I don't know what the cost differential is between 2 and 3 days, but it's not much of a distance.
I'm sorry, you were breaking up.
I just wasn't sure what the cost differential would be between 2 to 3 days.
Absolutely. No, my projections on that are not a great difference.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Anybody else?
I know Councilman Delaquila has been...
Delaquila? Councilman? Mr. Chairman? Yes. Mr. Chairman? Yes. Go on, Councilman Delaquila. Thanks. Yes, thank you. Tony, when you go around talking to the various... Thank you. When you go around speaking to the various businesses and other folks who are normally contributing to the home days here, I understand you're getting some reluctance because of, the unpredictability and the financial situation we're all in. Can you describe the overall tenor? Are people receptive? Are they cautious? Are they trying to hedge their bets? And I think maybe, I think I know what you're going to tell me, we may be prudent to set some sort of deadline for us. We already know we're going to be into this $15,000 to $20,000. We might as well call it half. We should think about setting a deadline for us where we would either choose to proceed or pull the plug. I think there's probably a very good chance that by the end of July, we may be out of what we're in now, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the state of Ohio may still be restricting gatherings of people. And so if we're going to go ahead, the other thing I'd suggest is we have some sort of language inserted into these agreements excuse me, that sets out what our responsibilities are to each other in the event that happens, so that we're not on the hook. So just a quick question, Tony. What are you hearing from people you're talking to donate money, basically?
So I'm going to answer all three of the question and then response to the statements.
Did I lose you guys?
Nope, you're here. Can you hear us, Councilman?
Yes, go on. Yeah.
Okay. So you had asked what the temperature is like. Most people are I can hear. Most people are very concerned that their businesses are going to not reopen for a considerable amount of time. So that's a very real thing for them. So I think that with that uncertainty, people are far more reluctant to donate. So what I do is, of course, I use creativity to find ways to partner and to offer things in exchange for, i.e., advertising at future events, opportunities to speak to residents, so that it's not just hey, here's such and such amount of money. There is an actual return to their investment, which is something that I've been able to do in the 5.5 years that I've been here, that has such greatly impacted to the positive my budgets. Mm-hmm. So that was to your first part. The second part was you had asked, or you had made a statement about putting a deadline for these things. Of course, I meet regularly with the chief of staff and the mayor himself. We are very cognizant of the fact that we don't want to be making agreements until we have some level of certainty, which is why to this point I have not submitted anything to council for payment, because we want to prolong that as long as we can, so we're not financially impacted in one way or another if it does not happen.
Chairman Karadzic, this is the mayor. May I have the floor?
Yes, go on, Mayor.
I want to wrap this up for everyone. I asked Mr. Director Terry to advise council today that we lost two streams of revenue that we rely upon to normally break even for this event. One was the Taste of Seven Hills, $7,500 to $8,000. The other was Pleasant Valley, a nursing home that's been adversely affected to COVID. So our current exposure, known exposure from every other recent year, is about $12,500 is where we're at. Okay? Now that said, the project's going to be actively managed. We can't be caught unprepared. The last thing I want to take away, there's things we can cut if other sponsors pull out. Right now we still have the full 2 weeks, 2 nights of fireworks. We can go to one. And I'm not going to waste everyone's time. We will minimize the impact to the taxpayer, but it's completely important that we are prepared in the event. It's not banned, and the people will look forward to this. So right now our exposure is maybe $12,000. In terms of contracts, we're going to, where possible, we'll add force majeure, where if the event's canceled due to an act of emergency by the state of Ohio, that we should be held harmless. And if we can't add that to a contract, perhaps we'll move in some other direction. So that's all we wanted everybody to take away here, is that the last few years we broke even. The city right now is looking potentially to add $12,000 to $13,000 from the general fund to offset this. If we lose some more accounts, we can have opportunity to pull a couple things back. Make sense? Hope that helped.
Good. That's very good. Councilman Snitz, my phone went dead and I may have missed some of it. I heard the end there.
Mr. Chairman?
Bullet was on, but I have a question. Somewhere between canceling and going on with what the dates that we're already talking about, Mr. Chairman, maybe could potentially maybe push it back a month? Is that even a possibility or a thought process? That's all.
At this point, that has been discussed, and nothing at this point is off of the table.
Hey, thank you, Tony.
Tony, is that all you have?
Chairman?
Yes, it is.
Councilman Delaquila? Mr. Chairman? Yes, go on, Councilman. Mr. Chairman? Yes. Mr. Chairman? Yes, go on, Councilman Delaquila. Should we think about perhaps appropriating some money now? And should we think about
I think we lost them.
Hello? Tony, you still there?
I think the question was about appropriating some funds now.
There's no need for that. It all comes out of the general fund. There's no need to call from a different department, and I'll speak to our overall financial situation once we get into finance.
Okay, does anybody have anything else? Tony, you done?
I am.
Any other questions or comments from the council? Administration?
None from me.
I motion to adjourn. Do I have a second?
Yes, second.
All in favor? Am I still there?
Yes, you are.
Should we think about perhaps appropriating some money now so that we know where we are if and when things start spinning out of control?
Councilman Delaquila, this is Mayor Biassiat. I spoke to that. It's still coming out of general fund, and I'm going to speak to general financial situation and finance. So I don't think appropriating $12,000 or $40,000 in a separate bucket is gains us anything.
Okay.
I'm managing to an overall budget number, and I'm going to speak to that in finance a little bit.
Okay. Okay, I believe we already had a motion to adjourn. Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, community service adjourned at 6:44.
Okay, we're going to begin with finance, civil service, and personnel at 6:44. Thank you for that lovely music. My introduction.
You're welcome.
Musical interlude.
Okay, I have, looks like a resolution for the Hall of Fame resident for the month of April. Gail Connor. Gail Connor is a cancer survivor, an avid runner. She works at UH in the lab, and she is our candidate for April. I'd like to make a motion to get that on the agenda.
Second.
Can I get a... All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Now keep in mind, with the restrictions placed on our council, local city government here, I'm not sure when we will technically be handing these awards out in person, but we'll address that when the restrictions are relaxed or removed. Okay, so that will be put on the upcoming agenda whenever we are able to. Additionally, in my folder, I have a series of moral claims to be addressed. Unfortunately, I did not receive any paperwork to accompany them. So, out of fairness to the claimants, I would like the Finance Committee to review the paperwork, which are the subject of the claims, and address that in our meeting towards the end of the month, specifically on April 28th. So with that being said, that will be held until that time. Okay, moving on. These are issues that were presented through Public Works. This is for the 2020 pavement markings in the amount of $6,318.20 for Bowen and Associates. This is for engineering design fees. I'd like to make a motion to place that on the agenda.
Second. Third.
All in favor?
All in favor? Aye.
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 Two, if I could ask Ann Collins quickly, does any of this have to be on emergency?
No, it doesn't have. This is Collins here. Thank you, Madam Chair. This it doesn't have to be on emergency.
Okay, thank you.
Excuse me, Stacy, it's Carol. Those are both consent agenda items.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the clarification. You're welcome.
Very good. Yes.
Okay.
You want to make another motion?
I'm sorry?
You want to make a separate motion now to put it on consent?
Yes. I'll make a motion for the consent agenda for the 2020 pavement markings. This is in the amount of $6,318.20 for Bowen and Associates for engineering design fees. Can I get a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Aye. Okay. I'd like to make another motion this is for Richard Bowen and Associates in the amount of $5,000. This is for the Sprague Road resurfacing, and this is for the engineering fees as well.
Second.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
I have nothing further for the Finance Department. Do any of my committee members have any questions or comments?
I do not.
None.
Any questions or comments from council? No? Okay, we're going to wrap it up here. I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. And
I got administration. Administration.
Yes, administration, please.
I want to get back to what we were talking about. With the economic crisis brought on by the pandemic, we received from Rita earlier this month a revised income tax projection for this year. Okay? So I'm sure it's on some of your minds. In our budget, we projected $8.8 million from income taxes for this year. The revised projection is 8.3. Okay? One of the immediate moves that I did a couple weeks ago was in our budget, we had intended to double up payments on our long-term debt. We brought that down to the minimum required to preserve our cash. That'll save to the budget year $200,000. In addition, we have a retirement and Service Department that's effective at the end of this month. If things don't change, well, I'll just say, until further notice, we're going to leave that position unfilled. And between salary, PERS, and everything else related, we're projecting that'll be an additional savings of $50,000. So we've cut that bogey about in half. I will add that any construction taxes that we're going to receive from Meyer are not included because the projection's based upon last year's data, and the new income taxes derived from that project and any new development such as Conoco, no estimates were made for that. So it should be a conservative estimate. And we'll continue to manage that as it goes along. We have a request into the county fiscal office to do a projection on any property tax impact. We don't have that revised number yet. I'll share it with you when I get it. Just want you to know that we're being very careful and actively managing these items. In addition, you may hear from OML or other things or other cities taking small business loans or protective loans. I don't see for a need unless this gets really protracted even into next year because our cash reserves unencumbered are particularly strong. We have nearly $6 million unencumbered. So in the instance we have delays in property tax, we can go into the cash reserves based upon, the future property tax that we know is coming if it's just a matter of being delayed a few months. If it's beyond being a delay and there are property tax delinquencies or we suffer further impact to income tax revenue, then we'll have to take additional measures. But right now, I think we're pretty good with what I've just shared. Thank you, Madam President.
Thank you, Mayor. Anyone else from the administration before we wrap up? Okay, if no further comments.
Madam President, Tony, Mr. Mayor, we had some discussion about trying to affect our local income tax positively by all the people that were working at home. Is there any feedback on that or any thought processes on that?
Yeah, I got a recommendation from Councilman Martin, which I immediately looked into. I forget the name of the act, the Ohio bill that passed, the Ohio legislature and signed into law that allowed this teleconference, that same bill also included an amendment that said for the period between March 15th and May 15th, income taxes will be distributed to the original place of employment. So all those that may have been working in downtown Cleveland or independents that live in Seven Hills, even though they're working from home, at this point in time, their taxes are going to go to their original place. Okay?
Thank you very much. Norm, that was a good attempt, though, I got to tell you.
If this measure is not extended on May 15th, Rita provided guidance and even a form that we can share on our website to ensure that we are getting the benefit of work from home. So,
thank you, Mayor.
Here's the update on that. Welcome.
Okay, if there's no further comments, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn at 6:57.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, folks, thank you so much. Be sure to call back in for the 7 p.m. council meeting.
I resent all the instructions, so please follow the second set of instructions for the council meeting.
Thank you.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.